Hey there folks, and welcome to a very special episode, because in this one we're going to be doing a little segment that I like to call Childhood Memories. Childhood Memories. Now I'm sure a lot of you out there probably have a lot of fond memories of those classic children's educational programs from yesteryear. You know, whether it be Sesame Street, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, Mr. Wizard's World, or Dora the Explorer. I'm sure we all had our favorites that we all eagerly rushed home after school to watch. And for me in particular was a certain show called Square One Television. Now, for those of you who are unaware, Square One TV was an educational children's variety sketch show that aired on PBS from 1987 to 1992, and its goal was to help young school children improve their math skills. And some of the sketches on the show were actually pretty entertaining, such as the Pac-Man ripoff, Math Man.
True or false? You need math only in jobs where you handle money, such as being a banker. Yeah, a banker or a math man. That's about it.
What? That's absurd. How about being a scuba diver?
Good point.
Or a choreographer?
I hadn't thought of that.
Or an airplane pilot?
I suppose you would, wouldn't you?
Use math in all these jobs. It's false.
Why am I in this business?
And a couple of the game show segments were also pretty decent as well. But there's one particular segment of the show that I truly enjoyed. It was a lighthearted police procedural, as well as a pretty blatant parody of Dragnet. And of course I'm referring to that children's classic, Mathnet. Mathnet tells the tale of police mathematician Officer Kate Monday. Huh? Get it? Joe Friday? Kate Monday? Who's joined by her partner, the goofy yet lovable George Franklin, as the duo use mathematics to help them solve various petty crimes and mysteries. And so today I wanted to take a look back at what I consider to be my favorite of the Mathnet mysteries, the case of the Willing Parrot. And in this one, the duo get called in to investigate reports of a haunted mansion once owned by a very famous comedian.
The story you are about to see is a fib, but it's short. The names are made up, but the problems are real.
We begin our tale at police headquarters, where Kate Monday greets her faithful partner, George Franklin, who is just playing around with his toys again.
Woo-hoo! Morning, Casey Jones.
Morning, Kate. Casey Jones, huh? I didn't know you followed pro basketball.
Pro basketball? Casey Jones was a locomotive engineer, George.
Oh. Well, I guess he had a second career because he went on to coach the Boston Celtics.
I thought Casey Jones was that guy who hung out with the Ninja Turtles. George then makes an offhand sexist remark.
But you probably don't appreciate it because you were never a little boy. I mean, you were probably a little girl. Little girls don't play with trains. But they play with, you know, dolls.
George, I had an electric train when I was a kid.
Really?
I also had a baseball glove and a hockey stick.
Boy. Wish I'd lived next door to you. We could have played together.
And then we get an urgent call about a haunted house.
What's the address? We'll be right there, Walter. That was a young man named Walter Trefling.
What's his problem?
His mansion is haunted. Let's roll.
So the fearless duo hit the road and soon meet with a young man named Walter.
Hello, young man. I'm Kate Monday. This is my partner, George.
Frankly,
Mathnet.
Thank you for coming. I'm Walter Treffler.
And he's obviously high on drugs.
That's what has me scared. Little Louie is scared too.
Louie is your little brother?
He's my ward.
Your ward?
Uh-huh, he's a parrot.
Walter?
Sir?
The things that you're telling us.
Yes, sir?
Don't make any sense.
Rats, and I haven't even told you about the ghosts yet.
But then we soon learn that he's not on drugs. He's just a weirdo.
Sure. See, I live next door. But ever since Mr. Tissue died, I've been taking care of little Louie. He actually owns the house.
And then we find out that Walter is actually the guardian of the parrot that owns this house after the death of his owner, the renowned Fatty Tissue.
Little Louie, the parrot, owns this house?
That's right. Mr. Tissue left it to him in his will.
Who is Mr. Tissue?
Roscoe Fatty Tissue.
For the old vaudeville comic and semi-famous film luminary?
That's right. When he died, he left the house to his best friend, little Louie, and he made me little Louie's guardian.
Okay, what the hell is this? I can't even afford a one-bedroom apartment, but this bird owns an entire friggin' mansion? What the shit? So anyway, we go to meet with little Louie.
Would you like to meet little Louie?
More than anything in the world.
Come inside.
But oh no, little Louie has flown the coop.
He's around somewhere. Little Louie, little Louie. Who was that lady I saw you with last night?
That was no lady, that was my wife.
But he soon turns up.
Oh, Wally, baby. Had any good ones lately?
That's how we greet each other every day, Miss Monday.
I had a friend who was so fat when he sat around the house, he sat around the house.
And then we get to the reason why we're here.
That just started 2 weeks ago. When I come over at night to tuck little Louie into bed, I've been hearing these eerie sounds and moans, and somebody moving around upstairs.
But apparently Walter's just too young to realize that it's actually just two squatters banging in the master bedroom. But then the duo discover the true culprit.
Sounds like it.
So the two go back to HQ.
You finished all your paperwork, George?
Oh, sure, I do it every day so it doesn't mount up and keep me here late at night like you.
But you are here late at night, George, like me.
But soon they get another call from Walter.
He's at Fatty Tissue's house and he thinks he hears another ghost. I said I'd stop by.
I'll go with you.
So Kate and George go check it out.
Usually when you're trying to solve a problem, it is best to go at it when you're fresh, wide awake, and rested. But with Walter and little Louie, we had no choice.
What's happened, Walter? Came over here about an hour ago and put little Louie to bed, and I heard moaning.
Walter, we showed you yesterday. It was the wind.
Yesterday, maybe it was the wind, but not tonight, I'm sure.
How can you be sure?
Because there's no wind.
That's right.
And they quickly discover that it was a squatter after all.
Well, well, well. If it isn't our ghost.
And not just any squatter, but longtime character actor Jeffrey Lewis. And despite the fact that he's a close friend with Clint Eastwood, and is the father of Juliette Lewis, he's still forced to take roles like this to pay the bills. Poor Jeffrey. And in this episode, Jeffrey's playing a man named Norman Tej, the supposed nephew of Fatty Tissue.
My uncle used to own this house.
Who was your uncle?
Fatty Tissue.
Fatty Tissue was your uncle?
Well, he was my great uncle.
He never mentioned your name to me, and it's not in the will.
And Tej wants to get his hands on some hidden treasure that he thinks is stashed in the house.
I know Fatty left a fortune. I came to find it and claim it.
I think you're reaching, Mr. Tej.
I deserve this house more than that molting bag of feathers.
Sticks and stones can break my bones. 1, 1, 2, 3.
But the dynamic duo tell Tej to hit the bricks.
We're going to let you go this time, Mr. Tej, but don't show up around this neighborhood, or you'll be looking down the barrel of a warrant for your arrest for trespassing. Now, get out.
The next morning, George goes over a weird puzzle that Fatty Tissue left to Walter to figure out.
What is it?
Fatty Tissue's will.
Looks like a bunch of squares.
It says, Walter, this is for you to puzzle out. Looks like some kind of pattern.
Mm-hmm.
1 inch. 1 inch. 2. 3. 5.
But before George can figure it out, we get yet another urgent call from Walter.
Mathnet, frankly. Hello, Walter. Really? Are you sure? Okay, we'll be right there.
Walter Trepling again?
None other.
Another ghost?
Worse. Missing person.
Oh.
Missing Avis, if you want to be specific. Little Louie has flown the coop.
So Kate and George race to the estate, where they start a really half-assed search.
Why did the pair cross the road? If he's around and he hears the setup, he'll yell the punchline right back.
Why does the fireman wear red suspenders?
What did the Rolford say to the salad?
What time is it when an elephant steps on your watch?
1123. 1123.
Fine. Eureka!
And then they find little Louie just chilling in a tree like 2 feet away.
Louie.
And then we all learn about the famous Fibonacci sequence.
What were you and Louie talking about?
Yes, George, what are those numbers?
The beginning of Fibonacci's number sequence.
Of course.
Fibonacci?
Fibonacci. He was an Italian mathematician who lived during the 13th century and had fun with numbers.
The sequence is arrived at by adding the 2 previous numbers to get to the next number.
That's right. We always start with 2 ones. 1 and 1 is 2.
1 and 2 is 3. 2 and 3 is...
5. Eureka!
What reminded me of it was this page I found in Fatty Tissue's will. See? 1, 1, 2, 3, 5.
You know something, Pard? The square pattern looks very familiar.
And that takes us straight to the painting on the wall,
It's an identical pattern.
as well as what's behind it. And what's inside that safe, you may wonder? Why, it's another stupid-ass puzzle.
If you found this, Walter, I'm as happy as can be. Listen to little Louie. He can lead you to the key.
Sounds like another puzzle.
Remember what you just learned. Now don't turn up your noses. Look for number patterns and stop and smell the roses. Good luck.
So our heroes promptly check out the rose bushes outside the house,
George.
where Fibonacci strikes again.
The Fibonacci sequence. 1, 1, 2, 3, 5. The pattern is on the wall. Uh-oh. 3, 3, 1, 4, 5, 4. Kate, this isn't the pattern we're looking for.
And then Walter rushes out with another problem.
Little Louie!
What about him?
Someone broke the lock on his cage. He's been bird-napped.
So George and Kate hit the streets trying to find the parrot.
The number pattern that we were analyzing would have to wait. Finding little Louie was our top priority.
And that's where we meet this lovely fellow.
Has anyone offered to sell you a parrot in the past few hours?
No, but a man came by with a minor bird about 15 minutes ago.
They could have painted him.
His name was Little Louie, and...
Little Louie. Fatty Tissue's bird?
Yes.
What a talent. Did you ever hear him sing Carmina Burana?
No.
Break your heart. I hope nothing unbirdlike has happened to him.
We then hit up a taxidermy shop. come up empty yet again. Afterwards, we pay a visit to Jeffrey Lewis.
Yeah?
You dress in a hurry, Mr. Tedge.
I have fast clothes, Ms. Mundy. What do you want?
And after searching through his shithole apartment...
Miss Monday! Mr. Franklin, look! Birdseed!
we soon find the missing bird.
How do you explain this, Mr. Tedge?
I just scared him a little, that's all.
Mind if I use your phone, Mr. Tedge? I want to call for a backup unit and have you arrested.
I guess.
And with the others distracted, old Tedge makes a break for it. Back at HQ, the gang re-examines the Rosebush puzzle.
What is that?
It's a representation of the wall outside Fatty's house, Walter. We thought we had another Fibonacci sequence on our hands.
But it doesn't work?
Nope. Starts out the same.
But then it changes.
I see what you mean. 3, 3, 1, 2 and 3 is 5.
Uh-huh. Go on.
3 and 5 is 8. But 8 tiles won't fit on the wall, huh, Mr. Franklin?
No, they won't, Walter.
And Walter manages to break the case wide open.
Unless you carry.
Carry?
Well, sort of like in adding. When you have too many for the ones place, you carry over to the tens place and leave the remainder.
Carry, you say? Walter, I think you've done it.
And so our brainy crime busters race back to the house.
2 plus 4 is
6.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Drop back to 1.
But there are 2.
What is it, George?
Where they locate a hidden key.
One is at the next to the last National Bank.
Let's roll.
And after a visit to the local bank, and a rather long-winded speech from George,
I'd just like to take a moment and say that if it hadn't been for all of us working together under very trying circumstances, and sticking it out, trying to solve this very difficult mathematical problem, we'd probably never have found ourselves on the brink.
Open it!
we finally get to see what the treasure really is. Is it cash? Jewels? Valuable antiques? Well, shit, no. It's just another tape recorder. Damn it! But along with the tape recorder is a shit ton of money left for Walter, as well as a farewell message from Fatty Tisher to Little Louie.
Good luck, and I'd like to say this to my fine feathered friend, Little Louie.
Go for it.
Did I ever tell you the one about the born-again bureaucrat and the overstuffed sofa?
Eureka!
Meanwhile, old Norman Tedge gets his just desserts.
Norman Tedge was picked up by the ever-vigilant Los Angeles Police Department while walking near the Beverly Hills Hotel without permission or white shoes. He was convicted of a 487F, grand theft feathers, and caged away from society until he began to molt.
Case closed. And that was the case of the Willing Parrot. A fun and quirky good time, and educational as well. I mean, if it weren't for this episode, I never would have learned of the Fibonacci sequence, and I think my life would have been a little worse for it. Well, maybe not, but still, it's kind of neat to know. And I hope some of you out there learned something as well. So until next time, folks, this is me to you, wishing you all the best, and reminding you to always keep it real. Bye-bye.